Yeah, come on, baby. I mean, we must be live. That's the only thing that it means, because it is Money Monday. Oh, yes. Look at this. Even my phone is notifying me about being live. So let's get this baby out there, because tonight is a serious subject. Yeah, if put hashtag replay if you're watching it in the replay. But I think this is a serious subject. When about challenges, issues, problems, nastiness, terribleness. Yeah, so we need to make sure we get it out there. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. Share the video. Yeah, I mean, we could do that. So guys, when you come on here, what it is you want to do is you want to start sharing this. Yeah. Okay. So Real Life must be on here. I don't know who it is. Real Life Money Monday. So look, put it out there. And I've got this kind of split screen thing, because I like this whole Money Monday. Subscribe to your YouTube channel. You're going to be entered into a giveaway. So what I want you to do is tag as many people as possible. So start tagging some names in, because the thing is about this subject is super important. Now, why is it important? Why is it important? Because most people, they're not really, paying attention to the whole seriousness about challenges and issues and problems. And if you've had problems in the money, in your property journey, I want to hear from them. And I want to have your questions right here, right now. How do you share this thing? I don't even know if I can share this thing. Yeah, is sharing turned on? Can someone tell me? Can someone tell me if sharing is turned on or off or whatever? Yeah, okay, that'd be cool. Oh my goodness, I better share this. I never understood when people... Yeah, you want to see... What friends you want to see? Last thing you posted, shared only me. What? Friends? Everybody, baby. Public. Yeah, let's do that. So what problems have you had? Doing the right thing for the right reason is the only way that you're going to discover your true potential. And that could mean anything, money-wise, property investment-wise, your relationship-wise, business-wise. This is what is super important. Yeah, I'm just going to get live on this Instagram thing as well. So guys, if you want to start tagging some people, I don't know, are you tagging some people? I mean, there's some people watching on here right now. I don't know who you are. Let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're watching this, and let me know that you're excited for life. Yeah, and if not, tell me about that, because I would like to know if it's the challenges, the upsets, or the... Okay, so you can share. So maybe it's just my thing. I wasn't sharing. Yeah, let's make sure we get live in this place. Yes, we're live now. We're awesome. So now we're live everywhere. So I don't know. You tell me, should we have it like this or should we have it like this? Which way do you want it? Put it in the comments. Full screen, half screen, full screen, half screen. Because as long as the main thing that we're going to get across tonight is about challenges, issues, problems, as and when they occur. Because here's the thing. I'm not saying if, I'm saying when problems occur, your ability or your situation that you are going to like nail yourself down to, how am I going to handle this? How am I going to handle the setbacks? That's literally what it's going to come down to, because it is going to happen. People say, I'm going to teach you how to do it. I've made all the mistakes under the sun and all the rest of it. Yeah, the only benefit that can possibly have is if you now have some kind of strategy or framework on how to deal with the setbacks. And very few people do. I mean, you put it in the comments right now. Do you have a strategy on how to deal with the setbacks? Because as someone who invests in property and has been in the construction industry for a long time, with experiences of good times, bad times, loads of work, people wanting to do work, droughts, nobody hiring, nobody wanting to do work, nobody paying or investing the money. Now going into the investment world and now realizing I could create my own dream. I can create my own way of the way to it. By the way, let me know, half screen, full screen. Which one do we like, guys? We like this half screen thing, where we can get some nice little background thing going on here, or like the full screen? Half screen or full screen? You tell me which one. Put it in the comments. Yeah, where was I at? So yeah, it's a construction. Yeah, so what happens is, unless now, all of what happens is, people ask questions, right? So people have these challenges and they want to go and ask questions. How do I deal with, for instance, a planning application that's got refused? How, like, if my gross development value is not what I expected, otherwise known as a down value, then what do I do? So these technical questions are fine when it comes to that particular instant. Yeah, you beat the hell out of the wall in the garage. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, tell me some of your challenges. Tell me what your challenges are. Tell me if you got some, even better if you got challenges right now. If the people on here, they've got challenges right now, by George, tag some people. Tag some other people that hey, somewhere along the line, either I've hit the challenges, or if I've started pushing the boat out, going into places like property investing, starting a new business, maybe I've got a change of something because of lockdown or the current situation of 2020, what a memorable year this will be, then what's the challenges, or what's the kind of things I'm running into? Is it financial problems? Am I running into physical problems? Am I running into mental problems, emotional problems, and even spiritual problems? Yeah, we can cover that. So asking someone, how do I get a down value? How do I turn a down value around? How do I deal with a builder that, just ran off with my money, didn't finish the project? How do I deal with a builder that went bust? These are all very kind of, if you isolate them, they can be very specific technical situations. So then there's like, oh, hey, so in this situation, planning application, this is the process that you go through. This is how you handle that. If you had a down value, this is also how you handle that. You go through this process, you call these people. So they're the very technical aspects of things. But I think we all well know it doesn't really pan out like that, does it? Yeah, it doesn't really pan out like that in the heat of the moment. When it comes down to, you're not going to be able to pay your investor back. Maybe you're not going to make the money. Maybe you thought, oh, this deal that I was working on was the one that was going to give me more financial freedom, or give me the time freedom, or just prove to myself that, hey, I can do this. And then something goes wrong. And okay, you can go out there and ask for the technical advice again. Now, you may get it, you may not get it. But what I want to talk about today is, how do we actually deal with a setback? Because who on here, I want to know in the comments, who on here has not just had one setback, but you've had setback after setback after setback after setback. I mean, we actually have an award that we give out at Real Life Awards. We did it last year. It's going to happen again this year. The Real Life Awards, we actually give away award for those. It's got a very special name. But we actually give out the award that is for the person that is the one that just keeps driving forward, keeps making those moves. So question is, are you one of those people? Yeah, if you're watching this right now and you're watching this live, put hashtag live, put that right now. If you're watching this on replay, put hashtag replay. But also, I want to know where you are. Where is everybody? Are we still at home? Are we escaping our lockdown kind of environment? Or have you gone back into lockdown? What is going on? Are you allowed to make moves or not? I don't know. Yeah, and if you can share this will be awesome. Just let me know you shared it. I'll give you a shout out here. But mainly, I think the idea is, hey, look, some people. Why don't you just tag some people? You don't even have to know. I mean, I bet you people don't even know the people that got on the social media. So you might as well just start tagging them. Give them the opportunity to say, hey, this is my feed. What is this Money Monday all about? Money Monday, it's about challenges. It's about problems, about issues. And how do I deal with setbacks? How do I deal with setbacks when this is the key thing, baby. This is when. Look, George Jackson's got the idea here. Setback is my middle name. Yeah, because isn't it true that this is the name of the game? Yeah, it is going to happen. We were telling people, at Real Life events, property events that we do, we don't want to teach you how to do it when it's all hunky-dory. When everything is going your way. We teach you how to deal with things when it's not going in your way, when it's not going in your favor. How do you deal with that side of it? Because anybody, I repeat, anybody can make it work, and make it happen when everything is going to plan. I mean, look at the flat pack furniture. When everything is going to plan and you're following the instructions, and the instructions are nice and all the parts fit exactly in and the screws go exactly into the places and you've got all the bits, then pretty much anyone can put the flat pack together. When the holes are not aligned, there's bits missing, you know, the instructions are not very clear and things start going your way, you can't build it together the way you thought or envisioned it was going to happen. That's when people start smashing bits of furniture up, you know, and all of that good stuff. Thank you so much, Clark. Tag some people in here, some of your friends, Clark. You know, welcome to the tribe. Awesome to have you a part of it. Has a lot of setbacks or sweetbacks, baby. Yeah, that's something new. Yeah, in Rent to Rent. Yeah, so tell us some of your sweetbacks. We want to know. Yeah, and anybody else on here as well want to know setback, because this is the thing, people don't share them. I'm going to share some of ours. Yeah, some of mine that I've experienced in real life setbacks on a Money Monday. So if you would like to hear that, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. You want to hear setbacks, but I want to hear yours too. Some huge setbacks, always setbacks. I mean, isn't it funny and a bit ironic that we're actually talking about this? Because some people may feel that 2020 is a huge setback for them. Now, I know lots of opportunities have come out of it, and you know, I'm all into that positive outlook and I'm very optimistic, but at the same time I realized there were areas I was getting massive momentum in, where then it is a setback. So it's like, where can I switch my attention? Where can I switch my focus? But I'll tell you some of the setbacks here. I mean, there was in property, it's a funny old game, you know, because I was in the construction trade. I was working, when I first left school, I was working on a building site and we were building new houses. Yeah, and there was always things coming up to do with planning, regulations. We'd start doing some work. Maybe we'd have to change the way we were doing it. We'd have to add, you know, layers of insulation in it. All of this, like bricks that weren't delivered on time. You know, the right sand wasn't delivered. Sometimes the wrong materials were delivered. Sometimes it would rain. You know, we set out to go and do some roof work on the roof, and it would rain. You know, terrible weathers. In fact, I've even been on site. We were building this massive retirement home, and I'm talking massive. It's like some hospital type of situation. And there was 7 bricklaying gangs on this job, and I was one of them. Yeah, me and my dad. Yeah, we working together. And I remember we were building like the block walls. They were 12 high. Yeah, 12 high. So building these walls, you know, sometimes. Because it was price work, right? So people would want to lay, and I was the same, you know. And this is where the wisdom of my father came in, which was very good, because we weren't the tallest people, so we could only actually go 8 high. So we'd only go 8 high, and we'd kind of like, you know, let it go, and we'd move on to somewhere else 8 high, and we'd always come back and do the next 4 the next day, because then the wall's gone off and all the rest of it. Well, some gangs, they wanted to just get the 12 high quick time, yeah, move on to their next bit, and they wanted to like grab, let's call it like land grab, because they want to move to the next little block so they can like grab that block because that's the part they're working on. If you don't, do you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about here? So anyway, they would go the 12 high, and sometimes in that day, boom, wind, the whole thing would come down. And you know, once that starts to wobble and it goes, it's like, because it's all together, right? So it literally, as it goes, it pulls all of it down. It was like thunderous. When some of those walls fell, it's thunderous. I mean, pretty dangerous as well. I mean, people used to have planks with nails on the top, which would hook over it to try and keep it. I mean, I'm not sure how the health and safety is going to run the show down, because I'm talking a good old few years ago. But my point is, these are the big setbacks. These are the big setbacks that happen. What happens in property investment? I tell you what, when we first got into the game, the setback was straight away when we got an offer accepted. They then, like, someone kept outbidding us. And in the end, we were like, okay, yeah, forget it. That's too much. It's outside of our price range now. It's a bit of a risky property in terms of, like, it was literally on the edge of all of our criteria, you know. So I was like, oh, it's just one area. The area, you know, the refinance, the commercial valuation, or the rents that we could get are all kind of on the edge. So it's like, we let it go. And then what happened was, they actually then came back. So that's the first setback. You know, you think you got your first property, you got your offer accepted, you've celebrated, and then they come back and tell you, no, somebody else has got it. Yeah. So how do you deal with that? How we dealt with that is frequency. It's more frequency, because, and I'm going to tell you the framework and how this deals, and how most people, they won't do this because it's a little bit counterintuitive, let's call it. Yeah, it sometimes seems like it's the opposite or the wrong thing to do. So what happened was, we were able to increase our frequency on the number of deals. I remember looking at over 200 deals, working out numbers on over 200 deals. That was how we were able to like make lots of mistakes, but also get good at spotting the properties, working the numbers out, making sure that we, you know, knew our stuff, knew how to communicate, getting lots of practice with this. Yeah, and actually that then resulted in us getting like the original deal that we lost came back to us. Then what happened was we had 6 more deals. So in total, 7 deals. This was like when we literally just first started, that started rocking and rolling. Yeah, and then with a few of these deals, as you can imagine, starting out building teams, going through different solicitors, different brokers, all of these things going on, right? You know, we're raising finance, we've got different investment partners, joint ventures, all of this. Yeah, and I'll tell you, one of them was a 2-bed? I think it was 2-bed. Yeah, it was 2-bed house. Yeah, in this desirable little village. We paid over asking price. Asking price was 120. And then we paid over it. We paid 125. And then, because there was a lot of competition for it. And we did, like, this was going on. So this was a flip. The strategy for this primarily was a flip. And as we were doing this, we had the other 6 deals going on as well, which let me just think. I think that all of them were HMOs actually. So we had a 1 flip to begin with. The rest of them were HMOs. Then what happened was we got this flip all done and dusted. And we had a lot of setbacks around wanting to keep the old features, fireplaces, the doors, you know, being able to, like, Trish calls it strip and dip. I think she calls it dip and strip, something like that, you know, sherbet, whatever it's called. Yeah. And then so what happened is we went through all of that, and then one of the sign-offs for here's what happened. We then get a buyer. So then a buyer, offer accepted, we're going through the paperwork and everything, and just so we could exchange, one of the last things they asked for, said, oh yeah, can we have the building control sign-off for your property, the changes you've made? And we was like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's go and get that. And we actually realized at that point that we didn't even file for it. Just one of those miscommunications. Builder thought it was us, we thought it was the builder, you know. Oh, and I know plenty of people have lots to say about that kind of thing. But anyway, the point is, we're just about to sell the property, you know, everything they want to move forward quickly and all the rest of it, and we don't have that. So we have to go and get building control. So they come out, and now they're all angry. They are upset that we did not notify them and we've done the work. So now this complete finished, plastered, painted, decorated, all nicely finished off, now has to go around, start drilling holes, inspections holes to check strength of timbers instead, because we'd done a loft conversion and we'd extended out the kitchen outside into an outbuilding as well and made it all big one kitchen. So then what happened was, we had to, like, reinforce timbers with steel plates. They were talking about putting a sprinkler system in. Can you talk about throwing the book? Yeah, talk about throwing the book at us. Yeah, they were like, sprinkler system, you got to do double boarding here and there, you got to have 2 ways of escape at the bottom of the stairs. And we're like, whoa, I mean, come on. You know, I mean, some of these are like either or type of things, you know, in this situation. But it was like the book was thrown at us. So huge, big setbacks. How do we deal with that? So I'm going to give you the key to the setbacks if you want it right now. So you let me know if you want it, put it in the comments. If you want to know the key to handling all the setbacks, because I want to give it you in the middle of the video, only if you want it. And then what we'll do is we'll discuss it and we'll answer any questions that you might have as well. Not putting in agreed details into the agreement, delaying keys, collection, all the rest of it. Yeah. So these kind of things happen. And I tell you something, it's not just the setbacks that cost you the time. What scares people is the setbacks that cost the money. Yeah, for some reason, numbers make people emotional. But you put a currency at the beginning of that number, emotion goes through the what? Goes through the roof, baby. That's where it goes. So what I want you to do is I want you to tag a load of more people as well on here, just so like if people want to know the secret on how to deal with the setbacks, this is what we're going to is now. Yeah, do the 5. What does that mean? Yeah, so look, here's I talked to I gave you a clue earlier. I talked about it. It's frequency. Yeah, how to get over the setback. Now think of it when you're a child, right? And I do this with my children. I've got 3 children. If they ever are doing something which I know they want to carry on doing and they love and they're enjoying, whether it's playing on a swing, climbing up a frame, or whatever it might be, playing some game, and they hurt themselves. Yeah, the aim of the game is to frequently get the frequency going again, get them straight back into the game, straight back on the horse, straight back on the tennis court, straight back on the football pitch, whatever it might be, get straight back on it. Because I'll tell you something, most people, what it is, they get a setback in the property game on a deal and they don't get themselves back in the game quick enough. They talk about it, but like the action, it's not. Like, because I tell you something, it's like, oh, how do I deal with a challenge? How do I deal with the mental aspect? The mental health is super important. I mean, all that is super important. You need to make sure you get the right coaching, the right mentoring, the right advice. You're in the right environment with people who care, they love, and they support you. Yeah, and I'm not just talking about family. Yeah, because some people have got great families, some people have got families that don't really support them. But either way, I'm talking about your wider network. I'm talking about your wider peer group. Because at the end of the day, the expectations of your peer group, they define you. Because if your expectations are higher than everybody else around you, eventually you will drop to that level. Yeah, in terms of expectations, in terms of like goals, like what is it that what impact do you want to have? Yeah, but coming back to this frequency thing. So it's like, okay, so we lost this deal. And I told you, we went ahead and did numbers on over 200 deals. This was literally just in between Christmas and New Year. Yeah, Christmas and New Year, we went healthfully. They had a flip chart in the lounge. We had a little system of who did what aspect of looking for it and what numbers and how the numbers were worked out and all that good stuff. So the frequency got straight back into the game, and we had surplus of deals to be able to call and be able to book the viewings and, start moving forward. Yeah. Also, some of the deals where we had real difficulty in the beginning. Can you imagine if that was our only deal, the deal where we were supposed to make 50 grand profit from this flip, where we only ended up making 14? I mean, some of you are like, I'll take that all day. I mean, some of you probably didn't even make 14. I know some people who didn't even make 14K in their deal. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, imagine that was our only deal at that point. Yeah. It's the frequency. It's because then it's the practice. It's the practice of the communication. It's the practice of, and also it's the feeling of progress. Again, if you've got one deal, one project, and you're having to deal with setback after setback after setback after setback, it's like you might not feel that there's progress. You might not see progress. You might not feel it. You might definitely won't feel it in your pocket. If anything, you'll feel the opposite of progress, whatever that is, because it keeps taking money out. It keeps taking money out of your pocket rather than putting it in your pocket. And these are the challenging things. So when you got multiple projects, when you're getting frequent, baby, yeah, it's all about getting frequent. The more frequent you are, the sooner you get back on the saddle, they say, yeah, then what it is, you start to create another experience. That's the key. I'm telling you, the frequency allows you to create another experience. So I don't remember having this, oh my God, one time I tried to invest in property and, everything just went terribly wrong. Let me phone my friends up and make sure that I get some advice. Hello, John, is that you? Yes. What do you mean you told me so, not to do it in the first place? You see what I'm saying? Like people like that could start happening. You're going to start ringing the wrong people, Gerald, who's never even invested in property because it's, you know, so difficult. So then what happens is that becomes your experience. And because of the lack of the frequency, you know, some people, they call, you know, they're like, oh yeah, you know, oh yeah, you call an investor? I'm going to invest, I'm going to tell them what I'm doing. Oh yeah, hi investor, da, 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 da. Oh yeah, no, I don't know anyone, I'm not interested, I'm not doing it. So then that's your experience because there's lack of frequency. There's lack of frequency. The guy who makes, you know, more calls, they learn what isn't working. Oh, I said that, I didn't really get a good response there. Let me not say that again. Yeah, oh, actually, I said this, and they're interested. Let me say that again next time. Yeah, and I'm not. I mean, look, we teach these things, and I've taught business. I built many multi-million-pound businesses from scratch, from zero, from nothing. So I've been through the houses. I've been through the how do they say? They drag you through the one. I don't know what they call it. But anyway, what I'm talking about is getting frequent to create a new experience, a different experience. Because I tell you, you're gonna come across challenges. You're gonna have problems. You know what? Right now, if you can't write a list of challenges, problems, issues, and scenarios that are like what you would class as a setback or lack of progress or slowing you down in some way, shape, or form, either number one, you are totally blind and oblivious, is that, or you are literally, but then I can't see how this would work, but you are literally like playing the safest game. Yeah, your safest game. You're like the person at the blackjack table who like waits and only plays 2 hands per shuffle, and you got to remember the 6 decks in a shuffle, right? And you play like 2 hands, like, oh yeah, let me just pay the minimum. Oh, I'm gonna sit down at this one, you know. I don't want to make any mistakes here, you know. I don't want to make any mistakes. No. And I did a video on Facebook, in fact, one morning last week, talking about mistakes, and that's the problem. Most of you want to play a game to not make mistakes. Because that's what you're taught. You're taught in school that mistakes means you're stupid if you make mistakes. It means you're not intelligent. It means you're going to be put in the lower set. It means that your friends are going to laugh at you if you raise your hand and make a mistake. Where the absolute truth is what, people? Can put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. What's the truth about mistakes? Mistakes teach you. Mistakes, the more mistakes you make, the wealthier you become, the more successful you become, the more abundant you become, the happier you become, on one condition. The condition being that you admit it. You admit that it's a mistake. Buckminster Fuller, he wrote this in his book. Buckminster Fuller, he said the only sin in life is a mistake that you do not admit. That's what he said. I thought I had something in my teeth, and it's like a weird shadow. It made me feel like I didn't have a tooth. It's like a pirate, mate. Yeah, so why don't you tag some of your friends and get some of your family on here, and let's talk about Money Monday, because Money Monday is how do I deal with the setbacks? I mean, look at any entrepreneur, any successful businessman. I was watching this interview with Jeff Bezos from a while back. This is a few years ago. It was recorded. I watched it the other day. But one of the guys was like, yeah, so, you know, you've gone from, nothing, and you started selling some books, and now you guys are doing billions of dollars of sales every day. And it's like, sometimes it scare you that like you could lose it all. Like the fact it's a possibility that you could lose it all. Does that not scare you? And he's saying, it's not like it's a fact. It's a fact that we could lose it all. It's a fact that it could all come tumbling down. You know, so it's not like, you know, a possibility. It's a fact. The fact is that it can happen. You know, we know that. Yeah. So these guys go through life. They go through all the setbacks, and they build up the resilience through frequency. So my question to you guys is, what is it that you are doing to strengthen yourself when it comes to frequency? I have them different levels. Yeah. What is it that what you do? Do you actually put yourself through the paces? Do you speed up? Or because I'll tell you what happens, and this is the biggest mistake I ever seen. This is what you want to know what success sabotage is, or sabotage is. If you want to know what that is, this is what it is right now. It is when you just start to create momentum. You get to the place where you nearly just figured everything out, what you need to figure out for this level, this stage. Yeah, you're just about to break through, called success breakthrough. And then what you do is, what do? Come on, tell me what you do. What do you do? Yeah, you go on vacation. Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah, you go on holiday. Yeah, or you slow down. Yeah, you take a break. Oh, overwhelm. Let me take a rest. Oh, yeah, this feels better. This feels better. I mean, that does nothing except one thing. What does that do? Literally go, you imagine a rocket ship taking off, going to the moon. And it's just about to leave the atmosphere and break through. And it's like, no, tired now. Oh, that was hard work going all that way. Woo! Let me just take my foot off the gas here. Can you imagine that? But this is what people do in life. This is what people do in business. Just as, things start to click, things start to, manifest the way that you wanted, the hard work's about to pay off. All those lessons, all those slaps in the faces that you had, they're just about to give it like you the reason that, oh yeah, it was all worth it. And then you slow down, you go on vacation. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? That's what you do. That's what you do. Yeah. You go on some spiritual soul searching journey. That's not really that. It's just a holiday in disguise. Yeah. Because hey, listen, I'm all for this, soul searching and, spirituality. I mean, people that know me, I mean, all my wealth is coming from spirituality. None of it comes from anything else. I mean, I don't know anything. Yeah. So it all comes from that. It all comes from the ability to connect with the actual knowingness out there. That's how all these successful deals have happened. That's how all deals sell, how all deals buy, all the rental incomes and all the problems and the challenges. Because I'll tell you something, how long ago was this? Probably a year ago. Was it a year ago? Probably a year ago, 18 months ago. There was one point where a lot of our deals, like we just took our eye off, and the setback was the fact that the occupancy rate was low. Like I'm talking in some cases like 50%. And that was a huge setback. I was like, whoa, we got all these rooms that are coming to the market right now. And plus all the current rooms, we're not on top of this. A huge setback to the cash flow, to the progress, to the how am I going to sort out this? How am I going to keep progressing? How are we going to keep doing more deals if the ones that we've got are falling apart? Yeah. Again, it comes down to the frequency. Yeah, so the fact that we were frequent with our deals, we were frequent with our education, I'm frequent with my coaching, I'm frequent, I'm a studier, I study, I'm being coached, I'm being mentored, I'm being processed, I'm on the training, baby. I need to discover myself, I need to discover human potential, I need to see how do I play big games, how do I seek the truth of the matter in hand. That's what it comes down to. So all these people that are going to just breeze over this, like, oh yeah, challenges, I don't know how many challenges. You're blind. I'm telling you, you're blind. You want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Real Life Group, and we have a section called Truth on Thursday. Yeah, the Truth on Thursday. If you can handle it, it's not for the faint-hearted, but I'll give you the truth right there on the chin. Yeah, on the chin. I'll give you the truth about certain areas of, people's behavior, potential, what people are doing in business, in property, and life. That's literally just sabotaging them. So as long as you can handle the truth, or some of the stuff that people follow, what they believe in, what we think education is, what we think society is, and we do that. So make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube channel because that's going to be super informative for you. Yeah. So mistakes are learnings. They allow you to grow, provided you learn from them. And that's a great point that you make there, Claudette, because that is super important that we actually figure that bit out. But I think there's a step before that if we can admit to ourselves and say, Doc McStuffins, hey, Doc. Yeah, before I actually learn from my mistake, I missed a step out. And that step is, I got to admit that it's a mistake in the first place before I can learn from it. Yeah? Does anybody know what I'm talking about here? Because most people that are still suffering from that, they probably won't know what I'm talking about. You got to admit that it's a mistake. Now, if you're driving your car down the street and you got a flat tire, what's the first thing you do? When I ask this question, people are like, stop, get out, fix it. do whatever. Yeah, no, look, there's something happens before that. I got to admit something's not right here. I got to admit I got a problem. I got to admit something's off. I got to take responsibility for, hey, you know, something don't seem quite right here. Let me figure out what's going on. Oh, potentially it could be. Now let me put. I got to admit first that something's not right. Most people, they're not admitting it's not. They want to brush over it. Like most people are going to brush over this video. Most people are going to brush over this video. They're not going to pay attention to it. And by the time that actually this information and this content is important for them and they need it right then, they forgot about it because they went on vacation. They went on vacation because they were doing so well. They're just about to get that success breakthrough, and then boom, you take yourself out. Yeah, some people, they don't go on vacation because they're going to the success breakout. They go because they're not frequent enough. And then they want to be less frequent than they weren't even frequent enough in the first place. You know, because you just had the one deal. You just made the one phone call. You probably looked at this type of phone and was like, oh, sorry, no signal. I'm not going to make the call. Yeah, so all of these things that happen are stories, excuses, reasons, justifications for you to not be frequent. Because ultimately, I've said this many times, people know what to do. Yeah, people know what to do. You just don't know what you know. Yeah, so the frequency of it, you need to be able to get over the problems and the challenges of your little voice, yeah, of the lack of confidence, lack of, you know, what else can we call it? I mean, at the end of the day, it's experience is the only teacher, yeah? Experience is the only teacher. So this frequency creates a new experience. Yeah, and that's exactly what I like to teach people. I like to teach people from experience, not my experience, but from your own. I mean, I'll tell you this information that has changed thousands of people's lives that I've been teaching all over the world, you know, and the principles and the frameworks and the systems and all of that stuff. But it's only my experience. Yeah, so the real game is to do real training, real education. There's high up the teaching zones. Yeah, you got teaching zones. You got very kind of passive learning, which is kind of reading, lectures, you know, that type of thing, which is pretty much what you do in school. Yeah, and then, you know, the top of the learning scale is the real thing, learning from experience. And you got simulated games that represent the real thing. You know, these are top like 90% retention rates in terms of the information that you learn, all the rest of it. That's why making sure that you go out there and you are frequent within what you do. So how do you cut the learning curve still? You don't want to just go out there blind, because what will be the point in that? Yeah, well, you need to follow a formula and a framework. But still, when you've got the access to this framework and these strategies, then you still got to get frequent with it. You still got to make calls to agents. You still got to make calls to investors. You still got to put yourself out there. You got to advertise yourself. You got to let people know what you're doing. You got to share content of your projects, your learnings, and all the rest of it, you know. And we in Real Life Tribe, we got some people doing some fantastic job. And I'll tell you, and again, after this, there's this whole, you know, mastermind where people who are frequently showing up, frequently asking the questions, reaching out, pushing themselves forward. That's the key. Yeah. And I'll tell you one thing right now as well, this week, and it's only a couple of days away, Wednesday, the 14th it is. This is another opportunity where we have something that will allow you to do the right thing for the right reason through your own experience to discover your true potential. You know, so if you ever thought about, okay, I want to invest in property, but ultimately I want to invest in property because I want to have, you know, time with my family. I want to have, you know, more than 2 holidays. I want to have the flexibility of being my own boss, running my own business. I want to have a business, you know, I want to, you know, be happy. I want to have fulfillment in my life. I want to have adventure. Have you ever thought about any of that? Pop it in the comments if you have. Yeah. So what it comes down to in that respect then is, wow, okay, so there are people out there that are, you know, being what they want to be, who they want to be. They're going where they want to go. They're doing what they want to do, and they have what they want to have. Yeah, and once they say, okay, I want to go on a different route now, then they can change that route and they can do that. They got the flexibility to live life. They've got choices. Now, does this come down to money? I mean, part of it, yeah. But really what it comes down to is the true science of how to get what it is that you want in your life. That's what it actually comes down to. Yeah, there is like this. It's been proven by science, by many people now. Modern science can now break down that right down to the atoms and the molecule level, yeah, of how it works, of how you get what you do in your life. Yeah, what you have. I mean, have you got the relationship you want of your dreams? Do you have the property deals? Do you have the investors? Do you have the the business? Do you have the right people, the team to support you, to train you? Have you got that? Because if not, my good friends, then I strongly recommend that you attend Discover Your True Potential. It's 2 hours of training on Wednesday, 2 hours. So you just put it in here, dytp.co.uk. So someone put it in the comments, because by showing up to this, what you're going to do, you're going to open your eyes, number one, to the science behind how you can manifest the overused word, manifest what it is you want in your life. But also, this will help you deal with setbacks, because once you understand the science, you know why things happen the way they do. You know why you have the setback. You know how it came about. You know why you respond that way. Yeah, and then you can actually use the strategies and the principles that have always worked, and they always will work as well, because they are universal principles, to help you clear the path, get out of your own way. You must have heard that before, so you can get what it is that you do want, not what you don't want. So that's super important. So anybody watching now, if you could just put www.dytp, which stands for Discover Your True Potential, dytp.co.uk, you'll be able to go and register and get the details. This is a private training. Yeah, this is not just for everybody. This is for people seriously who actually want to do the actual training, get the frequency, do the frequency, the showing up part, the participating part. This is not a sit back, relax, watching a video type, training. Like, oh, let me just, nothing better on TV, so let me just watch this training and it looks like I'm progressing myself. No, you're actually going to be going through the science. Like, we're going to put the science to the test. We're going to actually show you how it works. You're going to show yourself how it works by doing the activity. Does that sound good? Put it in the comments if that sounds good. If we're actually going to do real training, like the real education. Yeah, this is the same education. Yeah, not the same program, but the same education that I will be taking into schools. Yeah, we have a foundation that's just being set up now. And actually, we're doing a free property deal. We're going to do a property deal for free. And all the profits are going to go into this foundation. And this foundation, sole purpose is to educate. It's a foundation for children. Yeah, so it's to give children the learning, the experience that they are going to love. They're going to love it because they require it. That's why they love it. And they're going to love it. This has been tested on my children. It's been tested in various places and schools and other places, teaching the kids about money and the importance of relationships and communication. Yeah, all the skills they're going to need to understand about how to direct their power and their energy. I mean, come on, let's face it. Kids have a lot of energy, yes or no? Yeah, yes or no, my good friends? Yes, they do. So here's the point. Yeah, here's the point. What impact are you able to have on this world? The first thing that you got to do, my good friends, is take care of yourself. That's the first thing you got to do. You got to be able to take care of yourself. You got to discover your true potential. You got to get to where you got to start to pave the way, pave the path. Yeah, thank you, Anne-Marie. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, massive energy, massive energy. So look, anyone who has children as well, you're going to be like, it's obviously going to be next year once we start to open things up physically, be live with the children, doing the activities, doing the training. There's some amazing life skills that these guys are going to be able to learn and take with them for the rest of their life. But is there going to be virtual classes as well? Yeah, absolutely, because it's just the way it's working now, isn't it? I'm afraid that's the way it's got to be. What do you think, Doc? Yeah, Doc thinks the same. Yeah, so that's it for this week, guys. Thank you very much for joining me for Real Life Money Monday. We've got some super subjects coming up over the next few weeks. By the way, also, we got some amazing subjects around property training as well. This week, I want you to focus on you discovering your true potential, though. So make sure you get yourself to that training, which is happening on this Wednesday, 7 o'clock, couple of hours. We're going to break down the science of how to have, be, or do anything you desire, how to direct the most powerful asset that has been known to man for a long, long time. Because if you don't direct this thing, it actually gets in the way. So you're going to need to know how to break all of that down to bring in what it is that you do want. So remember, my good friends, Real Life Tribe, you get yourself into the Monday mastermind. So it's just, a private tribe group where we can get questions answered. You're getting that great energy from the people. You're going to be having the learnings and the little practices and the things that we do. So remember, team, do the right thing for the right reason, because that is the only way that you are going to discover your true potential.